All right, so we have ample time to work on our project, which is the budget starter. What you need to do is to first gather into your group. If you were absent in last class, do not worry about it. You can still make a group with the person sitting next to you, people sitting next to you. So what you need to do is first is create a file project_2.py and copy paste the code which you developed in the previous project. Okay, and this is what we will be doing in every project. If you miss any lecture, if you miss any project, please try to ensure that you catch up with the project. These are very small projects. Catch up with the project before coming to the next session. Okay, so copy paste the project code from the project 1 into the next one, the new one, and then move forward with this task. So first, collecting income and expenses from the user. You know already how to collect a feedback from a user, right? How to collect an input from a user. Now this time we are collecting income value. Let's make it monthly income and similarly monthly expenses. So you will create two separate inputs with a proper message, and then you perform balance calculation. Okay, perform the calculation with these two inputs. So income minus expenses, they actually will give you the balance. You can use PayPal. It's a 5 minutes timer. I'll allow you to spend time because this is very small task. You can still do it within 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, and I will demonstrate how you would do it. Okay. Okay, so 5 minutes have lapsed. I would now proceed ahead to demonstrate how you should do it and how I would do it. Okay, so let me share my screen. So this is project number 1 which we carried out. Maybe I can just remove this line or not later on. So project_2.py created a new project. Let me copy and paste this code here. Let's make it more presentable by giving some comments like logic from project 1. Okay, and now comment again logic in project 2. So you would, when you look at your code later, you would be easily able to understand like what was the part of the first project. So what we are supposed to be doing is we need to ask user to provide an income, their monthly income as an input. Okay, so let's give variable a name income, and let's take an input from the user. How many of you, by the way, were able to execute it? Were able to complete the task? Okay, that's great. So input, type in the message, enter your maybe monthly income, and maybe we can give more elaborative instructions like numbers only. They can actually type in any characters, and when we use characters in our calculation, your program will not execute. Okay, so this is how you can take an input from the user, their income, and then assign it to a variable named income. Next, let's say expenses equal input. I'm making a deliberate mistake here. Either I can define it up here or later, but I'm just leaving it for a while. Enter your monthly expenses. Again, numbers only. Okay, so it will prompt the user what they are supposed to be inputting, a proper way of doing it. Okay, next what we need to do is to calculate the balance. How do we calculate balance? Equals income minus expenses. Okay, and then print the output using f-string. Your balance is maybe a $sign and then name of the variable, which is balance. Okay, so what will happen when I execute this code? Will it execute it immediately or will it throw off an error? What will happen? Yep. What error? What? Okay, what were you saying?
They would give you it would tell you that
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. So I wanted to demonstrate the same thing here. So let's run this code first. So first of all, it will run and ask me about this input name of user. So you see that it executes the code line by line. So this line has no error. That is why it is asking me for the input. So which is, I will just enter Hassan. And then it will say, hey Hassan, this is Budget Buddy, your personal budgeting assistant. And now it is asking me for my income. Okay. So let's say enter 1,000 and then enter your monthly expenses, let's say 700 something, and then when I hit enter, what will happen is it will throw off an error because it now tries to execute this expression, this statement. Okay, when it executes this, what happens is it complains about unsupported operand type for subtraction operator between a string and a string. So we are using a subtraction operator, and it complains that we are performing a subtraction operation between this string and this string. So always remember this: whenever we provide an input from from a keyboard, it is always treated as a string type. Okay, it always treated, no matter if you are even entering a number, it is categorizing it as a string, as a like a characters. Okay, series of characters. We need to convert that number into an appropriate type, either integer or floating point value. Okay, so I can do it either here in this line directly, enclose this thing. So after taking this input, I can enclose this thing in float. Either I can do it here, or much more readable way is to do this here. Float, both of them are float, and then float again. Now both turns into a numerical data type. If when I execute this again, it will execute without any error. Hassan, and my monthly income is 1,000 and monthly expenses is, let's say, 50.7 maybe. And the reason why I use the floating point conversion is because their expenses or salary might be a decimal value. So hit enter, your balance is 349.29999. So here again, if you want to display up to, let's say, 2 decimal places, what you can do is you can write colon and write 0.2f, which tells Python to truncate this value balance up to 2 floating point value, up to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's try running it again with the same values, 1,000 and 650.7, and there you go, 349.30. So it truncated 349.299999230. Okay. All right. Were all of you be able to follow? If you have any question, you can ask me. We still have a couple of minutes left, so I'm still here. Otherwise, we are done with the second project. I hope you're enjoying these kind of like implementation, because we are building up a bigger application by learning every modules and applying its application in the application that we are developing. So in this particular project, we have learned how to evaluate expressions correctly. Okay, variables and expression. This was related to variables and expression, and that's it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. A good one.